In a shocking turn, it was Diddy's own son who triggered the chain reaction that exposed the Cassie video, setting off a storm that led to Diddy's arrest. Now, former bodyguard Gene Deal is sounding the alarm, warning Christian that his safety might be in serious danger.
The King Kong came out with, where he was coming at 50 and coming at everybody, coming at him. Like, how you feel about that, Rick?
Well, first, I want to say to this young man, for somebody to take his head off. Because, see, that's that new school bulls crap that these kids out here, they easy to fly off their mouth steps. You don't invite a man to your private. You don't invite a man to your private unless you doing the Diddy. If two men lay down, how many homos get up? Let me tell you, young man, 2 of them. You understand? So don't invite a man to your private, because that man will see you and take your head off. Especially somebody like 50. You don't sit or let a boy do a man's job. I don't know if he needs that type of attention or he wants that type of attention. Evidently he do. But 50 is the wrong dude that you want to do that type of attention, get that kind of attention from, bro. And the infamous words of Waka Flocka, that could go hard in the paint. And I don't believe that this cat would even put out some trash like that and really didn't know what he was doing. He's teasing the federal government. And I told y'all, the Southern District of New York, do something get leaked to the press. Do you notice that, right? Soon as he did some that dumb shit, talking about, well, we did this, we did that. We had this over here, y'all went to the wrong house. Some went to, well, we gonna show you how wrong we are. Yo, CNN, run this. Action, roll 'em. Don't play with the feds, bro. But you gotta realize this. They got a lot of time. All they got is time.
Actually, it seems like Chris doesn't give a damn about his father.
Oh man, I've worked in law enforcement for 27 years, and I had the opportunity to see Haida. It's a place, whereas they have the state, feds, the NYPD, the Department of Corrections, and the state police. Yo, this place could be half of a basketball court. That's where they just got lines of computers with officers of all different people and officers just on the internet. Whoever's over that case, whoever's working that case, don't you know they saw that to their boss?
Just 2 days after his father's court appearance, Christian King was seen out with his girlfriend, Raven, looking carefree. A video captured the couple singing and celebrating after Raven's appearance at the Essence Feed the Fun panel on Saturday.
What's going on? Where's the action?
After a tense family court appearance, Christian King was later seen celebrating with his girlfriend, sharing lighthearted moments among friends. Days earlier, he and several siblings attended their father Diddy's hearing, where serious charges were addressed. Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, publicly defended her son, criticizing the legal actions against him. Diddy pleaded not guilty, but was denied bail again, with trial set for May 5th. Meanwhile, Christian faces a separate civil lawsuit tied to a 2022 boat charter incident claims. His legal team strongly denies as false and fabricated. Diddy is also named in that case due to his role in organizing the event.
And she was 25 years old at the time. She believed that the trip would be a, quote, wholesome family excursion, but says it, quote, turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing rampant drug use among sex workers and celebrities who came on board. She believes that the alcohol on the yacht had been laced with drugs, because she says women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start falling over. This is, by the way, something that was also alleged in Jones's lawsuit, that Combs would spike the drinks of different people. Focusing on Christian Combs, Markey says that Christian Combs had been staying at a villa on the shore, but that he would come onto the yacht in the evening to party. And on December 28, 2022, Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure Markey to take shots.
The lawsuit also alleges that Christian arrived at the event under the influence and made the plaintiff feel uncomfortable with his behavior, including pressuring her to drink something she believed was tampered with. Additionally, producer Rodney Lloyd-Jones reportedly holds hours of video and audio from that night, hinting at deeper misconduct within Diddy's circle. With Diddy still in custody and 6 new lawsuits recently filed, the legal pressure is mounting. Former bodyguard Gene Deal has even stated publicly that Diddy's chances of winning in court are quickly fading.
Christian, quote, "Excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that." Markey then says that she told Christian she couldn't stay with him unless it was approved by a supervisor, all of whom she knew would be asleep at the time, so this was a way for her to get out of the situation. She claims that Christian said, "Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you right now." Markey then says she responded with, quote, "Well, you can take your hands off my ass first." Markey says that she tried to go back to her work, but she found her again, wanted her to find him a place to sleep for the night. So she ended up taking him to the cinema room of the yacht, which doubled as a place for people to sleep. And she claims that is when Christian blocked her and groped her, took off his clothes, tried to force her to perform oral sex on him. She says that she was able to fight him off until someone came in. The lawsuit goes on to say that Markey told the yacht captain what happened the very next day, but he didn't believe her, didn't do any sort of real investigation. She says the captain retaliated against her for months after the alleged assault, before ultimately firing her in May of 2023. Now, aside from her account, aside from a potential other witness, right, the person that allegedly walked in on this, what proof is there that this happened? Well, she reportedly has photos of the bruises that she says were caused by this event with Christian Combs. The quote was, "Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored, as Mr. Blackburn refuses to return our calls." Holly goes on to say, "We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them." Then, the attorneys for Universal Music, one of the defendants who are also being sued by Rodney Jones for their alleged participation and facilitation of the abuse trafficking claim by Jones, they argued that the claims were so, quote, offensively false that one of these attorneys, Donald Zakarin, wrote, "A license to practice law is a privilege. Mr. Blackburn, the plaintiff's lawyer, has misused that license to self-promote, gratuitously, falsely, and recklessly accusing the UMG defendants of criminal behavior." So a lot of back and forth that we're seeing right here. And again, to be clear, everything that Diddy and his sons are facing are accusations. They haven't even been criminally charged. These are civil lawsuits. There has been no finding by a judge or jury that they are liable at this point. Having said all of that, this is a very significant development.
He believes the evidence piling up against Diddy is so strong that his only real path forward is to reflect and brace for the serious consequences ahead. Clip 6. In a 2022 interview with Real 92.3's The Crew, Diddy spoke about his late but impactful role as executive producer on Nipsey Hussle's Victory Lap. The Grammy-nominated album was nearly finished when Diddy joined the project just 5 days before its completion. Despite his contributions, he revealed that his executive producer credit was initially left off the final release.
Wow, that's a big trouser. How you feel about that?
I think if their lawyer got that off, they did a great job. Because you got to realize some of these cases, even you get regular drug cases, they be taking a year or 2 years to go through all the paperwork, everything they want to do, how the guy wait out, getting the witnesses and everything together. I think the lawyer thinking that they're not going to be able to give them discovery and enough discovery in that short of time. So the prosecutors are not going to present anything to the court that they think they can't prove. You understand what I'm saying? So the prosecutor is going to try to, go through everything. And that's a short time, bro. That's less than what? May? That's less than 7-8 months. You talking about 18 businesses. You talking about they got, I think they say 170 witnesses. You understand? They got 1,000 bottles of oil they got to test. Allegedly baby oil that they got to test. And I said allegedly baby oil because that's what the prosecutor said. Alleged baby oil. He didn't say baby oil, he said alleged baby oil. So that means that it may be something, or some of those bottles wasn't baby oil. You talking about victims in their statement and presenting them to the courts. So they got a lot of things. So that was a smart move by the defense, trying to get the trial, a speedy trial, so the prosecutor only have so much evidence that they can present. It can help them, and it can hurt them too.
How you feel about Diddy lawyers coming out?
Well, the lawyers are doing what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to trying to try this case in the public's eye. You understand? So Diddy could get Diddy could probably get off by them saying that the prosecutors release the tape. The grand jury have every right to see any kind of evidence out there that the prosecutors want to give them. Now, them leaking it and everything like that, that's not going to decide whether the judge is going to allow them to dismiss the case because they leaked this one this trial because they're going to try to state he can't get a fair trial because the prosecutors are trying to win their case in the public's eye. That's not going to be. It's going to be up to the judge to decide whether that was significant enough to not have this trial. His lawyers are trying to do anything, and they're going to try to do anything to win this case without first going in front of a jury, without first going in front of the judge like that. So what they're doing is they're going to try to play all different kind of cards that make us think, you understand, that dude is innocent and he's been done wrong and unfair. That's what the lawyer's supposed to do. But it ain't gonna work, bro. It's not gonna work. Just like, hold up, but just like first bail denied, second bail denied, the third bail denied. They don't trust the lawyers, and they damn well don't trust Diddy being out in public or in the streets or at home.
You're about how he might get some more tonight.
I think that they trying to beef up their case, bro. They're gonna continue to beef up their case once they continue to dig and get stuff. Once they continue to dig and get more stuff from the business part of it, they're gonna use those charges. Because if he did anything that was illegal regarding tax evasion, money laundering, they're gonna use that. If he had used his company and his power for the racketeering and things like that, so they can get the RICO Act on there, they're gonna use that. Any new news that can make their case powerful and they can present it to the court, they're gonna use it. As long as they give it to the defense team in the discovery, they're gonna use everything. But it's gonna be difficult for Puff to fight his case in jail. You know how hard it is to fight your case and go through every last one of those victims, or whether you know them or not. All that paperwork you have to do, you gotta realize they only get a lawyer like 2 hours, I think. Anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. And maybe on certain days, depending on where you at. How are you gonna fight his case decent in jail? But that's what happens when you lay your head.
So you don't see any kind of way to get out of this.
Bruh, I would bet whatever I had that he ain't got no chance in hell in getting out of here. All because they already got one witness for the trafficking case. And that's all you need. And when you only have to have one witness for the trafficking case, even though she may have been a participant, and I'm talking about Cassie, it's going to be hard for him to fight that one.
This revelation came just one day before Diddy was announced as a headliner for the 2022 iHeartRadio Music Festival. While his appearance sparked some controversy, he's not the only one loosely connected to the growing allegations surrounding the Asai situation.
What made you say
Well, bro, I didn't say he was a demon. What I think I said that you gotta watch what you say to these demons. And I might have put him in the same category. But I didn't pursue he's a demon. Now he's done shit that I projected. I see that demons does. When I seen him pick up that dove, and the dove supposed to be that of new beginning in life, and the dove fell to the ground straight like it was dead. The day we did that ritual in the park before he went to trial with Sean, bro. And I'll tell you that story if we talk about Sean. If we talk about Sean today, I'll tell you that story. Alright? How about that? Now don't go figure out something to talk to me and ask me about Sean. Yeah, but if we talk about Shine, I'll answer that. But what you was asking me is that, listen here, man. I did not know Nipsey Hussle. I knew of him and the positive things that he was trying to do out there in his community. The music that he was putting out. That I could say, based on conversations that I heard him speak, that the man was spiritually connected. He was a child of God. He had gotten in front of Puff one time, and he told Puff that he was putting out this music, and I guess Puff was helping him in some kind of way, and he said something. That what he said was, I need my music and my album to have the same feel of that life after death, like Biggie got. Now, you taking a spiritual person who's asking for something. He said, I wanted that same feel as life after death. That same feel was that Biggie got murdered and he went on to sell about 10 million albums or 10 million copies. I was saying, you gotta watch what you say to things, because it just might come true. You just gotta watch what you say, brother, because God said that you say it by mouth, you believe it in thy heart, and it shall happen. And when you got a strong spirit, and you that type of person, you gotta watch what you say out your mouth.
You think it was a good idea for him to go with you?
I really can't speak on what and the reason why that man would, when he was already doing a great job himself with the team that he had. But somebody convinced him that would be a good look for him. But, no disrespect, he got what he asked for.
Harlem native Diddy has denied all criminal and civil allegations. According to his spokesperson, he remains focused on defending himself with strong support from his family and legal team. His trial is scheduled for May 2025. Once dubbed New York's Party King, Diddy rose to fame after founding Bad Boy Records in 1993, launching the careers of artists like Usher and the Notorious B.I.G. by the 2000s. He had built a lifestyle empire that included Sean John fashion, fragrances, alcohol ventures, and reality TV shows.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Nip had no ego. So, you know what I'm saying? Like Nip came with, I want you to look to me, you know, I want to get in the real team, I want you to teach me all your, you know what I mean, like your business secrets, you know what I'm saying? I was like, when you got questions come up. You know, in his last album, people do not know this. Somebody tried to jerk me, but I faked it. I actually am one of the executive producers of Nipsey Hussle's last album, Victory Lap. So a lot of people don't know this. We got them to change it in Wikipedia. Somebody over at the label tried to leave my name out, but he came to me and said, I want you to be a part of helping me finish up this album. So I was a part of not just the records I was on with him on his last album. He was like, yo, I'm a big fan of like life after death. You know what I'm saying? I know you got like that vibe. I'm bringing like that vibe. Myself, he has a West Coast sound, but also has a Dallas sound. So I felt like, yo, I really need you to come and help me out with this. So that's why I have so much fun from us in the studio, because like the last 5 days of him finishing the album, he came. So you come on as one of the executive producers. And we had just started really getting extra close and tight. And you know, everything happened. But individual that like sent from God. And I know we sad, and I know we miss him. But I'm telling you, like, he did his work. The way he has inspired, me, did his work. He represented LA like no other. Top notch, glorious, godly, positive, loving, trying to save the community. Like this cat is really real. He was up there to me with Malcolm, Martin Luther King, and all the other Latino freedom fighters and stuff like that. It's revolution.
Claiming that she was harassing people about getting her abortion, who was pregnant with Diddy. You heard about that?
Well, I don't know why she would be named in the lawsuit for that, unless she did something that was illegal. Based on what you're saying, I don't think what she did was illegal. But then I do know that she had a beef with one of Diddy's girl, which was Gina, and they was talking about that back and forth on the internet with each other. Or somebody had posted some of the language and the verbiage between them two when she was saying that if telling the girl Gina, if Diddy told you to eat my box, he would do it. So that was showing me that Diddy has some power over both of these individuals. And she was out there being threatening and talking to the girl crazy, and the girl was talking to her crazy, and they put all that on the internet. So, you know, I don't know how it comes to play. That's some kind of federal law that the prosecutor want to use, but it may just be used for the fact that to show the control that Diddy had over these females. So if she say this, if Diddy told you to eat my box, you would do it. What kind of power is that? And this girl said that Diddy had already punched her in the head, kicked her, did all kind of crazy stuff to her.